What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Even Talks. My name is Rob and we have another update on the road. So obviously we'll do our weekly Khamzat Chimaev, whatever we want to call him, the man, the beast, the scary motherfucker himself. Still no announcement of any fight yet. Quite frustrating. Obviously still waiting on the outcome if he can get a visa for Gilbert Burns' fight. It's planned for, I think, April sometime. A date in April, can't remember what it is. Same as UFC 273 or 274, Volkanovski Korean zombie fight. So obviously it's planned for them, tentatively. We'll see what happens. Khamzat's obviously a fucking monster, based on the recent updates. Not many people from the old Muay Thai club that he's fighting over in Thailand want to actually fight with him because he's got heavy hands. Doesn't surprise me. Man's a beast. And then you got Dylan Dennis, the D-bowl looking greasy guy who hasn't fought in like 3 years, and I don't know, like he's just living off the old Khabib McGregor fucking hype from when that happened, right? So I don't know why he's calling him out, saying Khamzat can't pass his guard and all this shit. Like, I get it, Dylan Dennis is good on the ground by any means, but again, he hasn't fought. Why are you giving it the big one against someone who's fucking twice the size of you, in a significantly heavier weight category? Khamzat walks around at like 200 plus pounds. Like, I don't even know where the logic comes from sometimes. I really don't. Anyway, other than that, Israel Adesanya, Khamzat Chimaev. Obviously, you know, based that Israel just had that fight with Robert Whittaker last weekend. We've got obviously Khamzat kind of piped up at the time and was like he could beat him in round one. Now the question is, do we think Khamzat Chimaev could beat Israel Adesanya? Really something I learned from watching that second fight with him and Robert Whittaker, is that his distance control is superior, okay? And admittedly, he probably wasn't the most exciting fight. I think we could all agree. But he did what he did. He needed to win. Robert Whittaker was probably one of the harder fights he's had since Robert Whittaker, even though he's fought like 6 times since. But overall, it just shows like his distance his distance control is absolutely insane, and he just has the ability to control the tempo of the fight because of that. Now, the thing is, I don't think we've seen Khamzat Chimaev fight enough in middleweight. Well, that's a lie. He's had 2 fights in middleweight so far, but we haven't seen him fight a competitor who has the same distance control and same kind of lean, lanky kind of style that Adesanya brings to the table. And I don't know if it would cause him some problems, or whether just the fact that Khamzat's timing and wrestling is so fucking good, he would just do what essentially Yan did and just take him down, and just the punishment would just be worse because it's Khamzat Chimaev. It's hard to figure out how that one would go, and I don't know. I'm kind of in the same boat as what Usman fight for Khamzat would be too. That the fact that I don't know if they would take that fight. Obviously, they're not going to take that fight while Khamzat's still kind of low ranked, rank 11 or whatever it is in welterweight. And obviously, I don't think he's ranked in middleweight. But to me, it seems to be the most interesting fight to make for money. But people who want to see Khamzat fight, that would be the fight to make. But again, we don't make the fights, right? We just talk about the fights. So I'm interested to see what happens. Obviously, if he gets to Gilbert Burns, I think Khamzat will be given the title fight next. That's obvious. We've talked about this, and we'll see what happens in the middleweight division, because that could obviously change things too. If Khamzat takes a few fights in middleweights to push himself up that chain too. So the options are on the table. He's even got light heavyweight if he really wanted to push for it, right? But obviously, you know, that's you start getting up into equal weight categories then, I mean, there's no doubt that Khamzat's got the skill sets, and I don't think that's a problem. But I think the biggest thing is that he's going to dominate the lower weight classes, because he's just so much more superior when it comes to strength, size, and everything. So we'll see what happens. But I'm still waiting, like all you guys, on his next fight. Obviously, fights Gilbert Burns, wrestler versus, you know, jiu-jitsu wrestler. It's going to be super exciting. It will be a big fight, and it will also make that Volkanovski fight card an absolute cracker, because that means you got 2 title fights, and then you got an Khamzat fight on there as well. So you couldn't ask for much more, could you? Really couldn't ask for much more. So that's it for this episode. I know there's not much of an outcome, and thanks for watching me on the road here. Oh man, UFC starting to get exciting and starting to push into kind of the mid half of the year. Well, obviously we're still in February, but we're starting to see fights being prepared for the later part of the year, so we're really starting to see that flush out. I'm excited to see what happens in the lightweight division, and obviously the middleweight and the welterweight division, probably the two most exciting fight divisions. Also, heavyweight's starting to become really exciting too, obviously with Francis Ngannou being out of the mix for a little bit with his injury and his surgery requirement. You know, with John Jones coming back in the picture, you got Tui Tavasa coming in, just fucking knocking people out with elbows. It's an exciting side of things too. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.